just grind it out. I tell people like games like that, like RPGs, you just gotta grind out, man. You gotta if a monster just show up, fight it. You can't like run away and stuff. You gotta get your your power up and stuff like that. You gotta go to the next level.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's life.
Life in general, yeah. You gotta keep. I always felt like even the littlest project, you still have to do it because you never know what's the outcome of that. You know what I'm saying? Like anywhere, like I always had this thing like whenever I feel like I don't want to do something, I'm like it's a reason why I need to do it, so I do it anyway, and then a whole bunch of stuff just come out of nowhere.
That reminds me about a book I read called The War of Art.
War of Art?
Yeah.
Damn, hold on.
You should definitely check that book out.
Check that out. Because I'm making my list because books I'm trying to, read more. Every time a interviewer come on a show, I want to write down like different like shows, different like, well for you, I got to watch a lot of anime. But like a lot of books, I have to, I want to start like reading more. So it's called
The War of Art.
What's the story about it? Like what's the
basically it's about creation and just like the process of being a creator and just like the different forms of resistance you might have and it's important to defeat those. And basically some of the concepts are similar. Though you say like, oh, you feel like you need to do it if you feel like if you're scared of it or if you feel like you don't want to do it.
You talking about this one right here?
No, the war.
Oh, the war, like war, like
war and like conflict fight. Okay. The war of art. Like I recommend anybody who's like making anybody at all to read this book. Like if you're creating something for yourself, you got to read this book. It talks about like what it means to be. This one right here.
The white one, the white cover?
White cover, okay. Yeah, the white cover. Like, it talks about anybody who's doing and, like, creating anything for themselves. And it talks about, like, what it means to be a professional in this field, like, in any field. And it's, like, really important because it kind of, like, grounds you and, like, all right, listen, you got to go, you got to get stuff done, make it happen. But it's, like, showing you why you got to get stuff done, how you should go about getting stuff done, and just go and do it.
Yeah, I gotta read that book. Cool. So that's one of the only books you read. Like,
no, I've read a lot of books.
What other books would you recommend, like for myself and other people to read?
I recommend reading The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck.
That's a real
That's a real book. Yeah.
Wait.
The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck.
And why is that? Like.
Because we care about too much. Like, a lot of people, like, try and make themselves care about too much. Like, you don't need to care about that much. You just have, like, certain values for yourself. And, like, shit doesn't matter. Like, you don't have to worry about, like, what you're wearing all the time like that. You don't have to, like, worry about, like, what people think of you. Just do what you want and, like, know what you really want to care about. Because then you care harder. You love harder. And you invest your time better in the stuff that you really want to do and stuff like that. But that book is a lot. It's kind of hard to explain. It's exactly about the subtle art of not giving a fuck, and it's not about giving a fuck about. It's not about not giving a fuck at all, but being specific about what you want to give a fuck about.
So it's pretty much like I'm doing this X, Y, and Z to better myself, but someone was to come and try to take me out of my career path or whatever, like, you can't really care about that. Like, if they tell you, like, oh, you gotta be careful with this or whatever, alright. When I was, like, 16, 17, 18 years old, I was, like, telling people I want to be a DJ. Not for, like, one of my main career, but, like, I wanted to be a DJ. Like, I felt like, in music, that was one of my passions. And then some people was like, well, not that much money are made. You don't really make that much money in like music and stuff like that. So it's pretty much like not giving what people say. Pretty much about like their opinion, right?
Yeah, really about like taking life as it is and like like you can do it. Like don't really care about what people have to say. Like don't care too much about stuff. Like you don't need to care that much. You can care, like, obviously, like, care a lot, but, like, know what you want to care for, man. Like,
and what's it called? The
subtle art of not giving a fuck.
How you spell it?
Subtle. It's SUBTLE. And art of.
Oh yeah, I see it. Yeah, I see it. It's right here, right?
Yeah, that's it.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. So, what I like on this section of the podcast, I like to ask artists, like, what are their top 5, artists of all time, pretty much, and why.
Damn, see, I don't really know who my top 5 artists of all time is, because, like, there's so many dope artists out there. Mm-hmm. I really know, like, who inspires me the most. Mm-hmm. I said that earlier, like Kid Cudi, Andre 3000, Biggie, Tyler the Creator, Kendrick Lamar. Mm-hmm. I give honorable mentions to, more than honorable mentions, but to Big Sean.
Okay, yeah.
Big Sean work ethic is crazy. Like, his path, and just he's been, like, inspiring me a lot, especially with the projects I've decided, and his project that he just dropped with Metro Boomin.
I liked it. I feel like some people didn't like it because it wasn't like, because every Big Sean album that came out was good, but some people felt like it wasn't. They didn't like the chemistry. I liked it. It was like just one of them albums that was just like, you have to go to the gym and you have to listen to that whole album.
Yeah, you gotta really listen to it, because he's really inspiring. If you really listen to what he listened to, if you're, like, on your grind right now, if you know that you gotta go and get it, listen to that, because he's inspiring on that level. Like, Big Sean is an artist that, like, yeah, he's cool, he has a vibe, but where you get the most value from is if you're really listening to what he's saying. Mm-hmm. Another honorable mention that, like, it's more than an honorable mention, Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne has definitely had a lot of influence on me that I don't think I even really fully understand. Mm-hmm. But, like, he's one of the only artists that I've really, like, tried to memorize, like, whole songs, like, especially off of No Ceilings 2. Like, that No Ceilings 2 is one of my favorite projects of all time.
Like overall?
Yeah, it's like one of the few projects that I would go to name, like, yeah, one of my favorite projects of all time. Another one, it's gotta be, if I'm going, like, favorite projects of all time, Kid Named Cudi.
Kid Named Cudi, that's one of your favorite albums?
Yeah.
Favorite projects?
That's, like, one of the few that, like, I could just listen to all the way through.
What about, what other projects? Like, mine's is Graduation from Kanye West. Like, that album I can go through the whole, like, album and just keep going. Same thing with Jay-Z, the Black Album. Replayable. I could play that all day if I wanted to. Ludacris, Word of Mouth. Replayable. You know what I'm saying? Like, Eminem, Encore album. I can play that, like, all day and stuff. Even with Wayne, the first Carter, to me, I feel like it's very underrated from his whole catalog, because everyone talk about the Carter 2 and 3, but I'm like, the Carter 1 was like, that was that album. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can put that, like, 10, 20, 30 years from now, I can be like, that's a collector's. Like, I need to have, it'd be one of them albums that be in my gold, like, treasure chest somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, the production, with Manny Fresh is, like, one of the best producers, in my opinion, of all time. You know what I'm saying? So it was a phenomenal, like, album project. So before we close out the podcast, I like to ask everyone this, like, where do you see yourself 5 to 10 years from now?
I see myself, like, feeling amazing. Like, I feel amazing now. Mm-hmm. I'm, like, getting there. Like, I've been kind of low, but, like, I'm feeling like I'm really gonna be enjoying life. Mm-hmm. In that time, I feel like I'm gonna be up for debate with, like, top artists. I think people are gonna be comparing me, like just to, like, the greats. Like, I feel like I'm gonna start getting in that category of like, yo, like this guy is like, he's up for like a long run. Like, I'm gonna be in a place where, like, it's gonna become apparent that I'm unstoppable. Everybody's actually gonna understand that. Like,
and I already told you, like, I see that because your sound is unique. It's like a whole nother new, low key is like a whole nother new type of sound that not a lot of people discovered it yet, but it's gonna come through time. Like, it's gonna come like that. You know what I'm saying? And please don't forget about your boy. when you make these Grammys and stuff like that, when you get these Grammys and go, because I feel like with your mind, like your creative mind, you could do anything. Like, you know,
at all, anything.
Like, you working on the anime, you know, you got another project coming out. You know, I can even see you making like a video game or something, or even like having like documentaries on Netflix and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I see that, man.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying?
I see it too.
But don't forget about me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you got any shout outs, anything that you want to say before we close out the podcast?
Shout out to Wavelengths. Shout out everybody in Wavelengths. I want to say, yo, if you got something that you want to do, go do it right now. Don't wait on it. Like, you can make stuff happen. You have the ability to do anything that you really want to do. So make sure you're doing what you really want to do. Because I'm not saying you have the ability to do anything you choose to do. You have the ability to do what you really want to do because you're actually really going to put the effort. Because you can really do anything if you're really going to put the effort into it. You can do it. So do what you want to do. Because that's where it's going to really, the drive is really going to come through and everything's really going to come together. Enjoy life right now. Like, you can always have the choice to be happy. It's your choice. There's going to be times when you're down, but you just got to accept that where you're at and make that shift to become happy. And love yourself. That's really important. Like, know yourself. Know, like, what you're doing. Like, pay attention to your thoughts. Pay attention to what you're doing. Grow. Always have an open mind, as mind as possible, because that's where real growth comes from. You don't know what's gonna happen. You don't know where you're gonna learn from. So keep that open mind, that growth mindset. Yeah, go for it. Do it.
That's very inspirational, man. And you only 20 years old, man. So you got a whole life ahead of you, man. That's what's up, man. It's because my whole purpose with the whole podcast was that I want the younger generation, like these kids that's like in middle school, high school, you know, even in college still, like, even though me and you both still in college, like still in school, it's people like that did not know what to do. They still don't know what to do, but they want to do something that they love. You know, like you said earlier in the podcast, like, it's important to do something that you love, because once you do that, then you could like with your music, like you can make a whole bunch of songs.
Yeah. Another thing, whatever you make, it doesn't have to be perfect. Like, if you're doing stuff, getting stuff done, getting stuff out, stay consistent. Stay consistent with whatever it is. It doesn't have to be perfect. Like, get it out, make stuff happen, finish the job. You'll be able to learn and move to the next step. Every project you do, everything you make, you're always going to get better after each one you make. So keep making stuff, keep doing stuff, keep making stuff happen.
And we gonna end that on that note. That's what's up, man. I appreciate you coming on the show. Before we close out the podcast, I would like to say that sportsbizmusic is on iTunes, Radio Public, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, Audio Boom. We everywhere, man. We just trying to be in everybody else. But this has been your boy DJ Anonymous with sportsbizmusic, episode 17 with Apollo Fresh, and we out.